his year before, definitely. Of course, he got hurt this last year, but his year before, he was doing good. And then they drafted Feheko, whatever how you say his name, from Stanford, and he's a speedster. You know what I'm saying? He ran like a 4.4 or 4, like he ran a low 4.4 or something like that, 4.39 or some shit like that. So they went young, but they got an old quarterback. So it'll be interesting to just see. They still got Zeke there, so I really ain't. Until they kind of bust a move with Zeke and Pollard, they a weird offense to me. You know what I mean? They ain't figured it out yet. They ain't commit to nothing. Respect.
You know me well.
They did it with Tony Pollard and then drafted a young
real talk. You know? Let's go. Rub on your tits or whatnot. 50-50. Real jiggy. Real fishy. My nigga bigger. Baby. The Life of John song called a nigga, Volume 2. Yeah, and we back after a long little baby vacation. We are back in the building. Real talk show. Let's get it. AntHits. I'm your host, man. We got 2 shows today, man. We got the show right now, and then after events tonight we have another show with with a special guest, man. A special guest appearance that we had high reviews on the last time he was on the show, and we kicked it. And we did a good show, man, so I'll reveal that later on. But right now, man, we got 9 weeks of football that we must talk about. It's been a while. I haven't spoke on a lot of the shit that's going on in the league, man. What's going on with Rasul? When the hell last time had Rasul Rahim Skadimes have had his own motherfucking segments where he talk about what's going on? So we're going to just turn it over right now and give it to him and let him tell us what the hell is going on in the world.
Check your phone.
Oh, no.
How do we reach a younger generation? The coolest thing through Google is having this see what's in store option. It'll pop up and say, hey, this is within, 3 miles.
So, when you want to know what's going on around the league as far as injuries, there's some big injuries in this league. There's been trades, conversations, trade talks, things that happen. We'll figure it out. But my boy Skadimes is available right now, and let's get to it. So, Rasul Rahim Skibibbles Skadimes. Hopefully we can change the coach for the Eagles in our league. His attitude, man. He been out here wilding for 2 days straight and shit. Because Baltimore ain't grab a receiver and shit. So the world has crashed on him and shit. He don't realize they got the second best draft in the whole entire draft. This draft, they went the fuck dummies. But he don't see it because he ain't pick a 99 speed Madden player. So he pissed off right now. So we're going to talk about that too, see how I feel about that. But Skadimes, man, talk to me about these injuries and shit and things that's going on that department, cuz. Fuck going on out here, goody? Yeah, look, it's been a long time since me, Rasul Rahim Skadimes has been on to talk about anything right now. But if we want to get into the injury conversation, we can. There's been some trade talks going on. There's some trades that might be happening. Some trades that already did happen. All of it leads up to guys looking at their team, evaluating their team, and trying to put a plan together, a visual map for the idea of what you're going to produce on the field. That's what it is. That's what it's about. That's how you move. That's how you get things done. Simple as that. But before you can do that, you got to go talk about those guys that are on the injury bug list right now and who is out and how much of an impact of them players being out are for these teams running around here right now. So when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, they are safe right now. As of right now, they are safe. Keon Pitts was injured for a game, and their quarterback Anthony Iverson went out in the first game with a pulled hamstring. But for the most part, the Baltimore Ravens are safe. The New Orleans Saints are safe. The Seahawks are not safe. Nick Brooks, left guard, starting left guard Nick Brooks, too, out for 3 weeks with a dislocated elbow. And then they got a D tackle, backup D tackle, Alex Giraldo, is out on an abdominal tear for 4 more weeks right now. They are injury bug right now. You go to the Steelers is losing their best player, flat out best player on the Steelers team, especially on offense, Shannon Sharp, man. Shannon Sharp Jr. is out for 5 weeks with a dislocated knee. That's a big-time injury right there, man. This is one of the up-and-coming tight ends in the draft. In the league. He's the third tight end that went second tight end that went number 1 overall in any of our drafts, period. And this guy's coming into his own. He's really a force to reckon with, hard to stop. The Steelers are losing a very big player in this situation right now. They got to figure out a way to get around it. They do have a nice little backup tight end that was there before he got there that they can continue to go, but they lose a lot of their offense with him not being on the field for 5 weeks. A lot of their offense, and especially when you got Wise Montana, who's becoming to his own player, man. He's becoming. You need all your weapons available to you, and for him to lose his favorite target for 5 weeks, I would like to see, what do the Steelers do to counter it. Now, they had a great draft. They did get the speed demon and Travion Henderson. They still got Herschel Walker in their backfield. And they got 3 towers of receivers. And they got a sleeper at receiver, 2 of them. LSU's that transferred to Nebraska kid, Trey Palmer, can be a really big piece to, make up for the Shannon Sharp situation. And then Puka Nuka. I call him a Puke Nuke. From Canada, I think he can really, really make a play for him too. So they do got talent on that team to be able to, counter this right now. But Shannon Sharp, man, this guy gets, if he runs 8 plays per drive, this guy gets targeted 6 out of those 8 plays. So in the word of Skibibble, Skadime, that's a Skadam. Skadam, he's out. All right, Texans is safe. Titans are safe. Vikings are safe. Bears are safe. Not at all. Justin Ross, man. I feel bad for Justin Ross, man. Due to his injuries, he didn't get drafted. This was one of the premier wide receivers in college football up until his injury and then COVID. He hasn't become 100% healthy yet. No NFL team took a shot on him today. He was left out in the draft today. But he will be on somebody's roster as a undrafted free agent. So, hopefully the Ravens land him. But he's going to be a good one. He just needs to get the opportunity. Justin Ross is out with a fractured elbow for the Bears right now. Their number 1 receiver. Bengals are safe. Bills are safe. Broncos are safe. Browns are safe. Bucks aren't safe. Jaleel Ruggs is out for 1 week right now with a partial PCL tear. And that's huge, the fact that it's a partial, because that could have been season-ending injury. Cardinals are safe. Chargers are safe. Chiefs are not safe. Nick Candy, who had an outstanding game a couple of weeks ago, is out for 3 weeks with a torn labrum. And then Frank Covington, their center, is out for 4 weeks with a torn labrum. Now, this team is flying high. They're playing really good football, man. And start to lose weapons can really hurt your processor, what you're doing. So hopefully they can come back and speedy recovery for those guys. Cowboys, Markel Terry goes out in the game that they just played today against the Philadelphia Eagles. And your number 1 corner goes down. So what do? Do they keep Rover and Solo Savage, or do they allow him to take over at that cornerback position until this guy comes back? We shall see how they put their scheme together. They do got a guy that's a jack of all trades on that defense that can move around and kind of cover this hole up. But if you put him at corner, then you lose the ability to be able to use that 99 speed, 99 acceleration everywhere else. So we'll see how the Cowboys, make this work right now. But their number 1 corner is now out for 4 weeks. Dolphins are injury-free. Eagles are injury-free. Falcons are injury-free. Football team injury-free. 49ers injury-free. Giants injury-free. Jags, Jets. We're looking at the Lions, Packers, Panthers, Patriots, Raiders, and Rams are not injury-free. Marquise Hayes, their left guard, 95 overall, 22 years old. Been in the league for 2 years, not out with a dislocated ankle for 6 weeks. For a lineman to have a dislocated ankle, even when he come back off them 6 weeks, they got to watch him. They're going to monitor this kid because, 300 plus pounds on a dislocated ankle is going to be something that you got to really reckon and take care of, because he's not going to be completely healthy this entire season. All right, and that's your injury bug right there. And there we go. Skedaddles talks about the injury bug right now. When we look at what's going on, we want to see what trades have been talked about. It's been trades that happen quietly. It hasn't really been crazy with trades like the real NFL draft was the last 3 days. They were fucking nuts all over the place though. But you know, we go look at, you know, trades right now and see what the fuck's going on in the league. In the league. All right, so trades. Let's get down to the big scams. So the Eagles trade strong safety Jalen Petrie to the Dolphins. The Dolphins trade their 2031 fourth round pick, and they trade their 2032 fourth round pick to the Eagles to get themselves a safety that was much needed. All right, the football team trades cornerback Lamar London to the Jaguars. Jaguars trade their fifth round pick to get him. That's a nice little pickup for the Jaguars to get themselves a little another player. And at the cornerback position, I think he's a little younger than what they have over there. And then you're looking at the Baltimore Ravens send running back C.J. Verdell, punt return specialist, quick return specialist C.J. Verdell to the New York Giants for a 2031 fourth and a 2031 fourth. What? Both same? Nah, it couldn't be in the same draft class. Oh yeah, swap in the trade. Yep, that's exactly what it was. All right, swap fourth and a trade fourth. I see what it did there. All right, cool. Giants also. Why is it 3 picks, bro? That wasn't supposed to be that, or they're just reading the same pick over and over again. 120, 125, and 2032 round 3. So, the Ravens send their fourth round pick to the Giants for 2031, and the Ravens get a 2032 third round pick. My fault, fellas. All right, so I like this trade. Now, look, for the Giants, I think they look at this trade as you know, when they look at their backfield, they got 2 dogs back there with House and Spiller. But that third running back, you know, who could play special teams for them, also who could play in their passing game. Also can give them good key handoffs and take some handoffs and snaps from some of these guys as well. But I would think more of a special team situation too, the same way the Ravens were using him, punt return, kick return, and you're gonna use him in some third down. I think the Giants will put him on the back, get him on the field a lot more as a running back. And the reason why is because, you know, their Barkley running back is getting up there in age, and you need a replacement for that. So I like that. The Giants thought they were smart in this situation to go get them a third down running back to replace Saint Barkley. So good shit over there. That's the trades. There's some rumor trades going around too, man. That's rumor, but that's just rumors until it happens. Dimes can't talk about it right now, man. All right, that's what we're talking about all my life. You know what I'm saying? Grinding and just doing what the fuck we want to do out here. Let's get to right now, man. What's going on around standings? My boy Hitter not around to give me my top 10 BCS situation right now. That's so funny, man.
Nah, I'm playing the Pro Bowl, and the dude I'm playing, I use his fucking creative player when he hit, and he hits the thing. Funny as hell. Oh shit! I need this laughed up. My bad.
I was going to say it's good you laughing and shit. You know, all stressed out and tight and shit. All right. So as you look at your, we call it the BCS, but it's really the Game of Thrones or the RDL top rankings right now. Teams in the league. And you're looking at the Ravens sitting at 9-0, 426 points scored, 122 given up on a 9-game winning streak, 4 games home, 5 on the road. Buccaneers sitting at 7-1, number 2 on this list. They're 357 points in, only giving up 100 points. At this point, looks like they have the, you know, when it comes down to not giving up points, they're number 1 at this point right now. They're only giving up 100 in 9 games. So, and they're on a 3-game winning streak, 4 at home, 3 on the road. Patriots are sitting at 8-1 this season. 5-game winning streak, 6 on the home and 2 on the road. They 359 points to 210. They giving up. Bills are number 4 at 7-2. So we got 2 teams with 1 loss and 1 team with no losses right now. And you know, last year we had a lot more teams, so a little bit sticky this year. I like it. That means there's a lot of little continuity. I see rounds when I go rounds, and you go rounds back, rounds back. Anyway. The Cardinals are 7-2 right now. 384 points scored, 273 given up. Football team is 7-2. His last 2 losses comes off of just things. Shit happens. Got to take vacations to be go to cheerleading tournaments and shit for your daughter. He's being a father. Salute my boy hitter. But in that situation, it gives you, you know, your second loss on the year that you couldn't control. And, you know, you on the Giants playing a big game right now, and you can't play that game, so that'll give you your third loss. But right now, you're number 6. He is hot right now. What's good, bro?
My game over with, so if you want to advance, you could.
Okay. Now, when I go through the top 5 and get down to team number 6 at 7-2, I honestly think the football team is the hottest team right now. They're playing really good football right now, man. It sucks that he got to take those 2 losses. But outside of that, you know, he's been playing really good football. I hope that, you know, these back-to-back losses he's taking, he could fight back from that, because that could really fuck his whole season up that he's been playing really good with. They are explosive on offense, man. You know, between that quarterback, Jeff Sims, Boom Jackson is having a hell of a year. And then they, you know, spreading the ball around to a bunch of weapons on the outside. So they're doing a really good job. Them Giants are number 7 in the league, 6-2. They gave up 215 points at 313. They scored. Bears are 6-2 right now as well. And then there are the Chargers at 6-2. The Chiefs at 7-2. Both of those guys in the same division. That's a good fight right there. Browns are 6-3. At 11, it rounds off your top 10 with the Chiefs. But the Browns are at 6-3. The Texans are 6-3. The Eagles are at 500 right now. It's big time right now. Let's see how much these Eagles fight through what they're going through right now. They're only on a 1-game losing streak right now, but they're, you know, sitting at 500. It's getting a little rough over there. When we get to the divisions, we'll see what's going on. We'll talk about that a little bit. Jaguars are 5-4, 1 game above 500. Lions are sitting at 5-5, and then you got the Seahawks. My Seahawks, Harold, right now balling at 6-4. Y'all starting to get to know Journey Brown. We'll talk about his story when I give him a segment. But my boy Journey Brown balling out. The Cowboys fighting their way back on a 2-game winning streak as well at 17. So we got some guys that are playing, and it's still too much football left to really see anything that, you know, can be determined at any moment. Nothing. So the Ravens have a 3-game lead over their division with the Browns in contention. Everybody else is just, you know, figuring it out right now. Look at the AFC South. Now, when this division got right to where I said it would get to. You got the Texans with 3 losses. They got a 1-game lead over the Jaguars. But then there's the Colts at 3-6 and the Titans at 3-6. And, you know, that means from team number 1 over here to team number 4 is only 3-game lead. So everybody's still in contention in this division right now, AFC South. Funny how they became one of the most active divisions in football right now as well. With the Texans screaming this division is his. All right. AFC East, you got the Patriots 8-1, the Bills 7-2, the Dolphins are in crisis but trying to figure it out at 3-7, and the Jets have an absence of lead right now at 0-10. They should be back within like the next 2 or 3 advances. Man, that's when you know you was in your bag when you start talking like that. Speak to me, Hustles. Rest in peace, man. All right, now let's talk about this division for a second. The Patriots are playing good football, but a lot of their football is them not having an opportunity to play a team, so then they're playing some computer games right now. The guy that's been the guy over here has been the Buffalo Bills and Coach Hoodie. I don't know if the Patriots and Coach Hoodie matched up already this year. I don't know. Nano, who do you lose to this year?
Yeah, it was Hoodie.
All right, so the thing is, this comes down to this: can the Patriots get over the Buffalo Bill hump that they haven't been able to get over lately? And can Buffalo phase them out once again, and take this division? But guess what? Listen, I don't care if Buffalo's been dominating this matchup lately. This game has been a close game all the way to the 4th quarter every game for the most part. There's been some, but for the most part, this is the down to the wire game. So we're going to take a look at this division and look at these 2 teams. We're going to keep it at these 2 teams right now. I think the Dolphins are going to have themselves one of those off seasons where it's the reset mode and really start to, you know, cuss their GMs out and their scouting department, and they got to get some interior work done as far as being a GM and you know, getting this team back to par to better compete. And that's where they at right now. They went through a quarterback change. You saw them send the speedy little 5'8" quarterback over there to the Raiders, and they grabbed their big boy guy over there that was a rookie who has a superstar on him, and they trying to get comfortable with him. I don't know if this guy's going to be the starting quarterback for the Dolphins going forward or not. We'll see. I think they like him though, so we'll see right now why they're in their little situation. It's for you. All right, now you get to the AFC West, and here we go. Two-team fight over here. So you got the Chargers at 6-2, and the Chiefs sitting at 7-2, right? And then you got the Broncos 2-7, Raiders 1-8. The Broncos are in a reset mode. And in that reset mode, they have picked up some pieces throughout this draft that I think is going to get them right back to playing, top tier football for sure. But right now, while they're going through that, I think they're, the job for the Broncos to do is to continue to develop talent over there and to continue to put the plan together. What's the map? What's your DNA map? What are you trying to do with this team? As you reset from a lot of the old players you had, you got to get into the new era of players. How do you put this team together? And we're going to watch, some of the top guys in the league, which is Jimbo. Watch him work, man. Just watch and see the work. If he's still locked in and interested in playing, watch the work. That's all I'm going to say, because they'll turn it around really fast over here, especially with Shedeur Sanders at the quarterback. I mean, you got Shiloh and Shedeur on the same team right now. That's big time. They've been playing since they've been in midget leagues together, so kept them together. That's what's up. Now, the Chiefs are playing really good football at 7-2, and the Chargers, man, he threw the ball around the park. We just want to know if the Chargers got a run game when they need it. Simple as that. In the North, in the NFC, you got 6-2 with the Bears. All right, 500 Lions, under 500 are Packers, and the Vikings are sitting at 2-6. The Vikings just fired their whole coaching staff and all that. They brought an intern coach in, trying to figure out if this is going to be a fit for them right now. They're 2-6. But the Packers is coming up. I'm telling you right now, Warpaint, their coach over there, is a really good coach, man. Once he gets familiar with this team and makes it his own team, it's going to be in a good situation. So I like this over here. It's going to be a three-man battle for sure. Over here, and the Lions are still in piece together mode. Like, I think the Lions give you a really good season where they exceed expectations, and then when the expectations are expected for them to be, then they kind of like put us in a situation where we're like, well, maybe they was just a little too, what I mean? They gotta consistently feed our expectations, if that makes sense. They gotta consistently show that they're a consistent winning team. And the Bears just get away with just forced losses a lot, or forced wins and shit. We don't know if the Bears are still top tier football or not until he plays somebody that's top tier. But he seems to escape a lot of games that keep him at records like 6-2 and things like that. And when we get into playoffs, you might win a game, but when you get to the guys, you ain't been playing no games all year. You lose those games. NFC South, Bucks 7-1. Panthers are 4-5, and then you got the Falcons and the Saints, both 3-6 right now. And the Falcons have a new coach over there. All right, so Coach T is back in the league right now, man. And this Falcons team is loaded roster-wise. All they got to do is, get the new scheme together, and this coach has to get familiar with his team, and we should see a nice little four-team situation over there. Don't even think about it. Oh, I thought you was turning around like, try this. I was gonna say, hell no. Oh. All right, so. Yeah, on the steps. You going to your dad's, buddy? All right. Love you. This division is interesting, man. It's very interesting. Because you've seen the Panthers make the playoffs last year. The Saints have, they made their switch over from quarterback, even at the receiver room, and they got Troy Franklin playing really well with Khalid Williams. We liking what we see over there. The Bucks are still the top of the class, simple as that, right? And we got the Falcons and the Panthers both trying to push that. So I like this division. It's super active now. Now, our most active division, the NFC East. The football team is on top of this because of the forced loss he has to take. He'll drop the second, and the Giants by default will be back at number 1 again, man. The way this season was going, I think the football team was going to win this division. I don't think he will continue to win it because he's going to take this loss to the Giants, and I think that'll be his second loss. Did Max beat Hitter twice already, or he only lost? No, Hitter only lost to the Bucks, so this is their first matchup. So this is huge. Yeah, that's a big loss right there. So then you got the Cowboys 5-4 and the football team Eagles 5-5 right now. Now, there's not crisis for neither one of these two teams, Eagles or the Cowboys, because we've seen this story before. Both these teams look like they're not having a good year, and the next thing you know, they're in the playoffs. Can they continue to do that, though? That's the question right now. And then the battle for the top spot, football team and Giants going to have to rock it out. The Cardinals sitting at 7-2, and the surprise team are the Seahawks and Coach Harold sitting at 6-4. The Journey Brown effect. The Journey Brown effect, right? Journey Brown is slowly becoming a running back in this league that can really toke that rock right now, and he's turning the fortunes around for the Seahawks right now. And if we can see them get it together on, still not turning the ball over when they are throwing the football, this Seahawks team is going to be a problem. This is a really built roster over there. Looks like they enjoy Trigger Man, their quarterback right now, and then they got a severe running game that goes and that'll weigh on you. We got another guy that will give their running back 20 to 30 at any moment now, and he's starting to find success in that. So shout out to the Seahawks right now. The 49ers on the absence of lead right now, and the Rams are still trying to figure it out at 1-8. I like what some of the things the Rams did roster-wise. They do have Martin Johnson, who I traded him a couple years ago, leading the league in interceptions right now from the cornerback position. They just got to get DJ Uiagalelei ready to play, man. They got to get him ready to go. And the moment they can do that, they can make some changes over there. Now, that's the standings. That's the objective of the standings. That's what we're talking about over there, right? So let's get to what we really like to talk about. It's week 9. So when week 9 pops up, then you know what else pops up. So we got to talk about what pops up in week 9. And I'm looking for the rookie step up right now, right? That's what we're looking at. Let's go look at the yearly awards and see who's running down races right now. First of all, we go to Coach of the Year. At the halfway point, the Jaguars, the Patriots, the Texans, DC hitter, and John Harbaugh are your top 5 Coach of the Year candidates right now. All right, the league MVP, you're looking at Hits Israel, the change from the Cardinals to the Patriots. And he is now the Patriots' #1 running back over there. He's #1 in the MVP race right now. Tremaine Bass at 2. Jawan Springs is showing us that it was not a fluke season the year before. And he's doing it again. It's called the Bring the Beat Back season. Quarterback Anthony Iverson for the Baltimore Ravens are at 4, and then you got Kyler Murray. Old Sensei is still in the building, sitting at 5 right now. Because it's week 9, you got to talk about Jalen Hayden, who's carrying that Titans team for sure. Jerry Brashaw, Mr. Motherfucker Completion. His name is Mr. CP, completion percentage. That's what he do. You know what I mean? Out there, dotties. And then we just saw Joey Cummins run wild on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. This kid is a monster. Definitely the best back in the league, and he's still showing that he's the best back in the league. And like it's just hard to stop a guy that's 90% of their offense, and he just continue to do what he do. Breece Hall. So we're seeing the Jacksonville Jaguars transition from Travis Etienne to Breece Hall, man, and it's working itself out big time. And then there's the Boone Jackson effect. Here comes the boom. You know what I'm talking about? All right, AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Tremaine Bass has that on seal right now. Hits Israel's #2. Springs is #3. So we got 3 running backs in the top 3. At 4, Anthony Iverson. And at 5, there's another running back in Jalen Hayden. And the NFC Offensive Player of the Year award race is Kyler Murray at 1 right now. Malachi Wideman and Diaper Danny. We told you we were going to talk about some of these rookies that step in. Joey Cummins is 3. Boone Jackson is 4. And then there's another quarterback on this list, and Mr. CP. Jerry Bradshaw, JBCP. And again, I told y'all, do not fall asleep on that Journey man, Journey Brown, sitting at 6. I know I was only supposed to do the top 5, but we got to show that love there. All right, Defensive Player of the Year in the NFC. Martin Johnson is leading the league in interceptions, and why wouldn't he be the Defensive Player of the Year at this point in the NFC? Old man Devin White still around, running around doing what he always do. #2, Rasheem Graham, great move, linebacker slash strong safety, who's playing the strong safety position this year. Great move by the Packers coach, and he's 2nd in the league in interceptions, 3rd in the league in interceptions right now. Honey Mayo, fuck name they kid Honey Mayo, I don't know, but Mayo is out there playing at a high level for the football team as well, because he's in that top interception guy too. I think he's number 2 on the list out of the top 3. The $200 million man, whether you play with him or the computer playing with him, he's just in the way all the time. Like, I'm getting tired of seeing this motherfucker. He's always in the way. But he's at number 5 right now, man. In the way. That's all I'm going to say. The guy's in the way. AFC Defensive Player of the Year award goes to Bo Calvert. You got J.D. Green for the Jets. You got Jaquan Brisker from Pittsburgh, who played at Penn State, who's balling for the Texans right now at number 3. All right, balling. So you got Quay Walker for the Patriots sitting at 4, and then there's the Jamaican Lennox Castle at 5, playing at a high level right now. So there's the top 5 Defensive Player of the Year award race for the AFC. Now, as we continue to go on, here's the Diaper Dandy conversation. Deion Smith. Do we give him his flowers now, Max? I know your ass around because you keep texting me. Do we give this kid his flowers?
Who's this?
Deion Smith. Remember we talked about, oh man, I don't know if this should have been his number 1 pick. And he probably could have got, this type of receiver in the 2nd round. But right
the
now,
receiver.
Yes, sir, he's balling right now.
I guess because we haven't seen this story before, so I really can't even say that. So I guess, yeah, he definitely deserves his flowers as a player. Still feel like he could have got a receiver later, but
we felt that way. But here's the thing: he went and got this receiver, and right now, this receiver is the best rookie in the AFC right now. He's playing the best football.
Yeah. As I say, he definitely deserves his flowers.
Right? Gotta shoot the love to him right now, man. This is a good sign for the Dolphins. Would you agree or disagree with me saying
I definitely agree. This is a good sign. As Waddle approaches that age, you might not have to go looking for a number 1 or a surefire guy no more. It seems like he has one as long as he continues to trust in this guy.
Yes, sir. Now, I don't know his numbers yet. We'll get to it, but the fact that he is up here right now, that shows us that he's making him important. And this is going to help them in their transition from Waddle to the next man up. All right, so number 2 offensively is Shedeur Sanders right now, man. I know the record is 2-6, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't put it past them if this is not on purpose. But them being 2-6, 7 right now, they have to start to turn it around. They're gonna play to turn it around. In my opinion, that's what I think they'll do. But I think they got their signal caller. Shedeur is gonna be a really good superstar quarterback. He's gonna be that guy. I think he's in the right system to be able to be that guy. Travion Henderson, the engine. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Hemi engine, Henny. He's still around, man. And he's playing for them Pittsburgh Steelers, boy. Anytime you got a guy with that type of speed coming out your backfield, sky's the limit. You can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, to be honest with you. But I like it, man. You're starting to see some really good rookies up here, man. Marquise McClain, the HBCU out of Southern, man, wide receiver, that hoodie, every year he gets a receiver and makes that receiver a dog. I think he's unique because the last couple of receivers that we saw the Buffalo Bills take were little guys with a whole bunch of speed. Well, this is a big guy, physical guy with a whole bunch of speed. And he can literally do anything. I played him week 2. This guy, he blocks, he does it. He can jet sweep you to death. He can go deep on you. He can possession catch you. He can pretty much do anything. And as long as Hoodie's playing with him, I think he's going to be a guy we have to really look at and say could be one of those guys in this league for sure. I hate these butt-ass lighters. All right, so again, I like this receiver. I think he's going to be a force to reckon with, and he's having a good first half of his career in his first season as a player, right? And he's almost becoming their number 1 target for the most part, in my opinion. When we go to stats, we'll see it. But this kid is going to be a problem late, because he's doing a lot with him right now, and he's being in game situations where he's making this guy stand out. So shout out to Hoodie. I can't wait to see what this kid looks like going into the playoffs. All right, Chris Tyree, man, they got themselves a speed demon. Now, he's a different back from the back that they had for over the last 6 or 7 years. and Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams was a power back with speed who developed into the speed. Well, this kid coming in the league, little guy, but speed kills, right? He's another one of them fast-ass running backs. I think that can really fit really well in this offense, especially as a receiver out the backfield for the Broncos. Obviously, we'll have to check out numbers to see what he actually doing in the run game, but I just think he's going to be a every down back. Like, he can really play first down, second down, or third, and you can do everything with him. Run the ball. He can run as little as he is. He can run in between the tackles. But he can be a fucking major threat. Major threat. Hear me out. He can be a major threat at the receiver position, like a running back out the backfield. He can be a major threat. So we'll see about Chris Tyree, man, 4.2 guy. So he's flying. All right, the Bengals got one of my favorite receivers in the draft, and Xavier Worthy from Texas. I still think the Bengals are over there trying to figure it out right now. New coach takes this team. He doesn't really know what he has but the rookies. And I think he's just only interested in the rookies right now. But until he can understand his roster, figure it out. I don't think this is their number one receiver at this point right now. But, as the diaper dandy, he's on the list at 6. Don Jones-Bell, another guy up there for the Broncos. And anytime you got young receivers making plays, that mean they're going to grow with Shador, especially coming in as rookies. So you got Shador and Bell playing well. Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son, is in Indianapolis playing. Look, the Colts have been having top receivers for the last couple of seasons. Right now, they get another one in Brendan Rice. So, as you can see how he's going to do. Not only do the Broncos have Bell, they got Marvin Harrison Jr. as well, sitting there at 9. I think this kid, he's the number one receiver in the draft coming out. He goes to the Denver Broncos and Shador Sanders, and I think this is going to be a connection that we're going to see, for years to come. And here's the guy that the Dolphins traded for him, Jason Butterfield, man. He stands at 6'6", got a rifle of an arm right now. And to be honest with you, he's mobile enough to be able to do what they like to do offensively. And I think this is what they did. They settled back in on a type of quarterback that could throw from the pocket more than a guy that, run around. I think that, the running around quarterback with the speed to be able to run and do run plays and things like that with him. I think it threw this team through their whole vibe off, because you had to transition into another scheme pretty much. And the ideal thing would have been to add that to the scheme you already had. It just didn't work. So now they're back to a guy that can really sit there and make every throw. And he's accurate as hell. He could throw outside the numbers very well. He could throw the deep ball very well. Now it just comes down to decision making. How well is he at making decisions? So that's the AFC. All 10 diaper dandies, rookies to step up, drop mic moment, however you want to call it. All these guys in the AFC are some big names. All of them are on some pretty solid teams, and they're going to be names in this league to take us into our future. How about the NFC side of things, though? We're looking at Malachi Wideman is just, we saw tight ends go fucking crazy last year. This kid got already at 20-something touchdowns already. Jackson State, HBCU, Deion Brett, you know what I'm saying? Coach Falky comes up down in the draft to get him at 10. Okay. I just made him too, Nano. Good looks. All right, so this receiver is literally, he only reason why he wasn't first round graded is because of the competition level where he came from. Other than that, you're looking at a guy that was a 4-star that went to Tennessee. It didn't work out there. He transferred and played with Deion and went bonkers. This kid is a super athlete, 2-sport athlete at that. If he wasn't in the NFL, he'd fuck around being in the NBA. He's that good. But this receiver core, the receiver group that went to some of these teams that can make these guys somebody, is going to be a problem right now. Because Malachi Wideman, at 6'5", and has the skill set and speed to do a lot for this Cardinals team, along with what they already did with Eric Gilbert last year at the tight end position. That can get scary. It sucks that Kyler Murray's at the end of his ropes, right? Because I know he would love these weapons if he was, 4 years ago, Kyler. Now, he's having a great year, right? Malachi Wideman, and Kyler Murray's not having a great year, but still statistically he is, though. Hate these little dumbass lighters. There we go. All right. I think Malachi Wideman is super good, but will be super great when they get a new quarterback. I don't think they're gonna go get a quarterback now. I think they're gonna continue to still play with Kyler, break every record known to man. But I think Kyler is really sliding a little bit. He's starting to fade off. The arm is not as strong as it is, and you're looking at a 5'9" quarterback who's losing his strength and his athleticness behind what made him great. And with that being said, he's still lights out. And Malachi Wideman's benefiting from it, but I still think he's being held back from it. When they get a guy, that can come in and really, really show that Malachi Wideman and Eric Gilbert's talent is crazy. Troy Franklin was one of those receivers that had first-round talent, but wasn't first-round graded, and went to the Saints, and we know what the Saints can do with their receiver when they want to make that receiver the guy. And as you can see, Troy Franklin's number 2 on this list, along with his quarterback, Khalid Williams. All right, so he's playing with the second-best quarterback in the draft that they got. It was Shador to him, and I think it's going to work out for the Saints. I think it's going to make us forget about Styles really fast. JoJo Early, speed kills, fastest guy in the draft, and he's on Seattle Seahawks roster, and they got really good skill sets at offense, and with that run game and this guy taking your top off your defense right now, you're starting to get a little Baltimore feel where Lamar Jackson won the MVP in 2019, and Hollywood ran by everybody. You're starting to see that a little bit. Brock Bowers, the number 1 tight end in the draft, he goes in the first round to the Giants, and as you can see, he's number 5 on this list. Kamar Wheaton is going to be a really good running back. He's the 3rd fastest running back, 2nd fastest running back in the draft, actually, behind Henderson and Tyree. I'm sorry. But Wheaton, I think he's just going to have to. The fact that the Cardinals are in a situation where they're playing for the conference, they're playing playoff. They want got to be playing playoff football to try to get to a Super Bowl. Kamara Wheaton is in a way right now, as good as he can be. I don't think this is the Hits Israel situation where there's a bunch of veterans around you. You can get away with Hits being a rookie and really make him the MVP of the league and all that shit. They're having a little bit of struggling time with Kamara Wheaton because this roster is flipped over and he's not giving them what they need when he's on the field. So although he's 6 on this list, this is a guy that you see a year or 2 from now and he's going to be a fucking problem. G. Scott, the moment he got moved to tight end by Ohio State, it made him a top priority. And look what's happening. The Lions are using him as a top priority. All right, Emeka Ibuka, this is my guy. I like him, another Ohio State receiver. And he's, on the 49ers roster. The 49ers get receivers and they make them play. Simple as that. Jalen Knighton. Now, Howard Streets is the man still over there, but this kid really is going to cut into the numbers. Why? Because the coach that got him is a Miami born and bred guy, Florida guy. So he's going to ride out with his Miami kid for sure. So we're going to see a lot more Jalen Knighton for sure, right? And then Allen Horst. Another tight end, right? Pitting in Turkey. So that's the offense. Let's go look at the defensive diaper dandies right now. DJ Woodbury. This is my guy from New Jersey, from Temple to Detroit. All right, they picked him up another safety. This guy can play the sub package. He's cool. Kool-Aid is arguably was the best corner in the draft, and you see what he's doing for Washington football team. The football team is in a mix right now, bro. They doing a damn thing right now. De'Aaron Robinson, linebacker for the Packers. Man, simple as that. Maryland bred linebacker for the Packers. He did transfer out of Maryland, but he was one of the top linebackers in the draft. He's on the Packers team. This is the reason why that other kid, Raheem, got moved to strong safety, because this kid comes in and be a day 1 starter right away. Tyreek Austin Cave was the 2nd best linebacker in the draft, period. Would y'all niggas let me do this show and stop fucking texting me shit? God damn. Tyreek Austin Cave is homebred though. Camden, New Jersey, all the way to Miami. From Miami all the way to the Ravens at pick like 17, and then traded to the Seahawks. And he's the man in the middle now. The Seahawks' best linebacker is on the Cowboys roster right now. And Jesus Christ. You know what? Turning my shit off. I'm ignoring niggas for the rest of the day. I will not answer shit. All right, but Tyreek Austin Cage, man, dog. And I think, you know, this is the future for the Seattle Seahawks. The one thing they did really well was they assembled a really good fast linebacker room. And I think he comes in and he brings good speed and good hit power, good awareness to the linebacker room. And he continues for those guys that are phasing out. As far as age-wise, he continues that next line of linebackers for the Seattle Seahawks. DeMonte Capehart, man, listen, when you got Big Jordan Davis, and shout out to the Eagles for drafting Big Jordan Davis, and the Eagles doing it in real life. So Rob will get an upgrade because of that. Anytime you draft, you know, a player that goes to your team in a real draft, you get a upgrade on that. So DeMonte Capehart, though, he's going to benefit from that big house being in the middle and him being in right next to him. And you're going to have to give one-on-one blocking because they got speed off the edge coming, and then they got these two animals in the middle, both of them with good speed, both of them ran 4.7s, 4.6s, shit like that at the D-tackle position, and they're going to really clog up. And I think this was a great pick for the Eagles team because in that division, I know it didn't show today when Cummings ran for about 450 yards on him on 182 carries. It didn't show up today, but he's a rookie and it's going to show up. You saw splashes of it, and when they get it together, him and Jordan Davis, they're going to man the middle for a long time on that D line. So shout out to them. Ryan Davis, another linebacker. So the Packers is digging into them linebackers right now. He's number 6 on this list. Tyrek Stevenson, another one of those first round talented cornerbacks that didn't go. He got passed on like that. He slid in the draft. I don't know why he slid in the draft. I guess guys wasn't, because he has the size, he has the speed, and he came out on ability at that too. So somewhere between superstar X Factor, he came out on one of the two. He's a dog. And the 49ers get themselves another corner to replace some of that old talent they had over there at the cornerback position to go along with the kid that they got now. And that's a dog. Their number 1 corner. I just don't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but they got their number 2 corner for sure. GETA or Jade, however you want to say it, Barron from Texas. This kid came with an X Factor, so this was a complete steal for the Saints. And I think, you know, they traded Gilmore to the Giants, you know what I mean, and they needed to get themselves a guy to come in and really man that cornerback room. I do think they're still looking for cornerbacks, but I think this is a great start piece right here with Barron. He's a sleeper. He's a good cover corner. He can play man and zone. And he can get physical with your big receivers, although he's not one of the tallest corners in the draft or nothing like that. Key Lawrence, sleeper safety from Tennessee, superstar at that. Another guy that, you know, helps this Eagles team out in the future wise. This is why they was able to trade a safety, because they grabbed a guy like this. So shout out to them. And then Jack Sawyer, man, when the 49ers don't draft, they still good talent. Jack Sawyer from Ohio State, one of the better pass rushers, edge rushers in the draft. He was the number 1 defensive end in the draft. And as you can see, he's on the 49ers team. And while Nick Bosa continues to get old, they got a guy that can come in and, you know, take over from that situation. So I like a lot of these guys that we saw in the NFC, far as the diaper dandies. All of them look pretty good right now. I can't wait to go see stats and see what they're doing stat wise. Here we go. Jackson State, Cameron Sillam Craig, right? Jackson State bred. That's a Dion bred kid for sure. He's played high school ball for him and college ball for him. Akeem Dent, Florida State, pick number 9 in the draft, man. Florida State, period. You know, big time ability kid, nice height, nice speed, really going to be able to show the shutdown abilities. When you start to move on from is it Devin Ward? You start to move on from him because of age. You bring in this guy and you start to turn your DB room around, because eventually he's going to be a shutdown corner for the Browns, and that they're going to need that, especially with the weapons inside their division. All right, Tarheeb Still, another Camden stand-up bred, Camden, New Jersey kid, Maryland. Now, he had a hard time with Wilson from Ohio State his last year on the field, and when he was taking him up top, him and Olave. But, you know, he was a young young kid at the time, right? Obviously, he's three draft classes behind those guys with Wilson and Olave. So he had, you know, the development, the growth. He's forced to be a top corner for the Dolphins. So I think the time that they're going to spend with this guy is going to turn him into, you know, the number 1 corner. Now, can they get back to Xavier Howard football. If they can get that out of this kid, the Dolphins are on to something right now. For real. Like I think they've been looking for an Xavier Howard since Xavier Howard left and retired. This is it. If he's it, then they're in a good situation. If he's not, they're gonna continue to look for it. Now, they got a man-child at safety. A lot of the talent that the Buffalo Bills have accumulated has been off of speed solely. So they've been getting a lot of safety. They got a couple safeties. They got some corners, but none of them were sub-package guys. Well, you're looking at a guy that got really good speed, right? Comes out on Superstar, another New Jersey kid, and Tyrene Powell. But this kid is 6'5", 6'4", 230 pounds. He's a monster. That can come down and play the linebacker position for him at any moment, or still play back deep because he got good enough speed to still stay back deep. I think they're going to use him in sub packages more than anything. You got a tackling machine and a guy that has a really good IQ for football. So once again, the Bills do what they always do: go get them one of those dogs. I don't know how this guy. He might have had to. This could have possibly been a reach to get him in the first round. Because I don't know how many guys saw this guy, but I don't think he would have passed the second round for sure. Isaiah Land, HBCU. All right, so the Texans, they went and got themselves a good outside linebacker on ability. So, dog. And you got Solomon DeShields. Here we go. Defensive player sitting here for the Broncos as they continue to flip their roster. As you look at it, you see Bradley Chubb up there in age. They can start, a lot of old guys over there for the Broncos, so they got to get younger. Dijon Warren, the number one corner, arguably the number one corner in the draft. He was graded out to be the number one corner in the draft, right? And the only argument was, are you going to say Dijon Warren playing in the FCS is the number one corner in college football coming out over a Kool-Aid who plays in the SEC for arguably the best fucking defensive coach in the world in college, and Nick Saban and that Alabama Crimson Tide team? And that's the argument. Who's better? And it's like, all right, well, they play less competition in FCS versus the FBS. So who's better? Is it Kool-Aid or him? Overall, talent-wise, Dijon Warren, his nugget is a problem. Simple as that. He's a problem. He unlocks to be the number one corner for the Tennessee Titans ASAP. And I think if done right, man, they got themselves a guy that can shut down on one side of the field for sure. If done right. So you're gonna see him play a lot of man too. He went to the right team. So we'll see as they continue to grow. And you're looking at Trey Williams, right, for the Patriots right now. Patriots need to get younger. They need to get some players to come in and step up, and they're doing exactly that. And at the same time, Savion Jones, another edge rusher for those guys. So they're getting deep at that situation where they're going to get after you. They like to run the ball, and they want to play stout defense, but don't break defense. And in order to do that, you need guys to get to the opposing team's quarterbacks and their run game. And then Galvatron, man, James Williams, Galvatron. I think he's the only rookie that the Ravens drafted this year that's even seeing the field right now. He comes in, started right away to the point where the Ravens have Ron Israel on the block for a trade right now. So they picked he's that good. Coming in that, they're benching a guy, pretty much moving back to the sub package. And he tired of that. Ron Israel said, I showed you that I ran 5 interceptions back from the deep safety, strong safety position. Now you want to stick me back at sub linebacker and make me play something I don't want to really play. I done sacrificed and played it for 4 years for you. Now I finally get my turn back there. I go out with 11 interceptions last year, and you move me right back down because you trade for this diaper dandy. And he ain't putting up the numbers I put up at the safety position. And now all of a sudden, y'all want to trade me? Hollywood left. And now we got this going on. Ron Israel leaving, one of the first Israels to say, I want to be out there. And if he want to go, it's a domino effect, right? Because, the veteran cornerback, Anthony Israel, has for a trade as well. So both those guys on the block, all because of a guy like James Galvatron Williams. I mean, you're dealing with 6'5", 220 plus pounds, blazer back there. Ball IQ is brilliant. He can play the run. He can cover your tight ends. He pretty much doing whatever the fuck you want back there. So I like it. When you look at the entire picture of the defensive rookies on both sides, NFC and AFC, they are some guys that's going to take us into our future of RDL. A lot of guys on this list that are dogs. We got some shutdown corners that will guarantee be exactly that. We got some linebackers that continue to make their names known. You got safeties on here that can be a problem. It's going to be fun football going forward. Let's look at the quarterback position. Weber, leading the class. Let's talk about Weber for a second. If you played the Buffalo Bills, then you know this statement I'm about to say is the truest thing I'm saying to come out of my mouth. There's nobody in the league that throw a better touch pass or a better deep ball. There's not a quarterback in the league that throw the ball and throw it from weird situations, dimes. Man, listen, I call him automatic. That's what I'm calling him, Mike Automatic Weber. This guy throws the ball, and he throws a pretty ball, and he pitched them shits in spots that it's like looking at a guy shooting, Steph Curry shooting threes. The pretty shot from anywhere. That's how it is with Mike Weber at the quarterback position, man. He literally placed the ball. His ball placement is the best I've ever seen out of a player on Madden, period. Whether I made him or, we made him through our draft classes or, a regular Madden player. I haven't seen a guy that has the type of touch that he has and ball placement that this guy has. And, from the pocket, he can really make it happen. From rolling out, he can make it happen. And then he still has that dual threat where he can take off. This quarterback is legit. He deserves to be right here at 1 right now. Akil Glass, man. He's in a situation where they think they're in the Big 12. You know what I'm saying? Where the ball thrown 50 times a game, all point 60, and 50 points every week. All they do is throw the ball. They don't. The running back don't exist over here at all in LA when it comes down to the Chargers. They fling the ball all around the park, and they got a quarterback that has the talent to do it. And as long as they continue to play their games, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see Akil Glass out there lighting the sky up, man, because that's what the Chargers do. That lightning bolt, that thunderbolt, that's what they do. They light the sky up. Mark Robinson is the name that we all should start to get familiar with. I told y'all last year this guy is in a starting role as Andy Reid's offense start to catch up to, or he catches up to Andy Reid's offense. We're going to look see a guy that's going to better understand his weapons and start to play some good football, right? Matt Corral in his first year as a starter, he's sitting at number 4 on this list. Shout out to him. He's the new quarterback over there. They went from Branton to him. And I thought it was the right decision for the Browns. So shout out to Matt Corral there. Shador Sanders, Diaper Dandy on his list at 5. Lamar Jackson is having one of his best passing careers of his career, passing seasons of his career right now. He's throwing the ball better in Jacksonville, to be honest with you. We having a Devion Branch sighting for the Jets. Desmond Ritter's back in the mix. Butterfield, as much as they're struggling at 3-7, Butterfield's in the mix, and Malik Willis is in the mix. Now, how the fuck is on these quarterbacks that I'm at the bottom looking at in front of Anthony, the answer to Iverson, is crazy to me. I don't get it, but whatever. All right, NFC quarterbacks you're looking at. Here we go. Jerry Brashaw, CP, right? Completion percentage, 70 and above. We can call him Jerry 70 and above Brashaw too. All he do is throw the ball at a high level. When you got a quarterback that comes from, the Tom Brady tree, he sat behind Tom Brady, learned how to play this game. A little bit more athletic than Tom Brady, but this kid is a guy that knows how to keep his team in a situation where they're always in a position to win because he just doesn't turn the ball over. You're not going to sack him. For the most part, you're not going to force him into turnovers at all. I mean, he has an IQ that's out this world when it comes down to what he wants to do. He's probably the best quarterback in the league when it comes down to his system, right? What I mean by that is no other quarterback has the handle of their offense more than Jerry Brashaw. I mean, this guy will live to play another down, live to fight another day. He understands when to take a sack. He understands when to throw the ball out of bounds. He understands when to take off with the quarterback. But he understands not to throw anything that's not going to put him in a situation where it's a high success. For him to do that, that's why I call him CP. Percentage, right? When he drops back, he's looking for the highest percentage. He's analyzing. I don't want a 50-50 here. That's a chance for something bad to happen. I need the wide open guy. Or I'm anticipating the why. If it's not, then I take my chances on the next play. Simple as that. and he's been that way for a long time in this league. So you got to give him his props right now. Sensei Kyler Murray is the most dangerous quarterback in the league, and he's been that since he stepped on in the league, right? But he's starting to see the arm winding down, starting to see some things out of Kyler Murray that that he's at the end of his ropes. All right, Mitchell Stockton, as long as he's playing well, the Lions will play well. Darian Thomas, now I know they're 5-5 this year, but he's been magnificent all year. But he's at the borderline of don't fuck it up. That's where he at right now. I think the coaches have to put a chain on this kid. They have to put a chain on him because he's too cocky, too confident, and he makes too many dumbass decisions. With that being said, he's one of the best athletic quarterbacks in the league. If you give him space, he will make you pay, and he can hit any pass from anywhere as well. I think DT, the golden child, is exactly that, the golden child. I think he's on the cusp to where the Chargers are when it comes down to passing the ball. He's that close to it. I think the problem with DT is when you have a live arm like his and you're athletic, and 9 out of 10 when you're on the field, you're the best athlete on the field, you tend to play that way. You tend to play like you're Superman, like you got a cape on your back. And I think that's what get them in trouble more than anything, because he'll take risks a little too much. And even with that, he still has a high percentage, completion percentage as well, but he take a lot of uncalculated risks. Back throw the ball 40 yard, rolling out to the right, throw it all the way back over to the other side of the field, no receiver in the screen, shit like that, instead of just living and play another down. That's what you get out of him. But his talents, is his gift, is his Achilles heel as well. Khalid Williams, man, diaper dandy. Again, we saw one over there in the AFC with Shador, and now you're seeing one over here in the NFC. And how about it? The best 2 rookie quarterbacks to come out the draft are both in the best quarterback position right now in the NFC and AFC respectively. Chris Evans, Computer Love, Justin Fields. Justin Fields has been a monster for a long time. Simple as that. When it comes down to Justin Fields, I can say this. I don't think nobody's played better than with Justin Fields in any of my leagues than what D West has done. He completely plays with him like he is. But at the same time, he can get what's the word I'm looking for? He can get predictable, right? I don't know if that's just the Bears play calling or what, but he can get predictable, right? Cause you start to get a jump on him, because if he's not surprising you with the throw here, the crossing route, the drag, the bubble, nothing there, take off, a little bit of space take off. If he's not surprising you and you're expecting it, I don't know how many plays this kid can make, but when he keeps your defense off balance, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, flat out. With one of the best coaches in the league when he's locked in, manning him. So Justin Fields, they got weapons around him now too. So I expect for Justin Fields to continue to rise, as he's starting to get older in the league right now. Dustin Crum won the starting job before the Packers new coach came over there, and when they got there, they continued to play with him. They got 2 dual threat quarterbacks still on that roster that was picked in the same draft years ago. Never really panned out to be anything. Dustin Crum's the youngest quarterback that they got over there, and they're really riding their wave with him. And he's been in shootouts with some guys. I know the record's 4-5, but Dustin Crum has been going toe to toe with some of the best quarterbacks in the league thus far. So I want to see, when they continue to, learn this new scheme that they're in front of right now, how well will he be as a starting quarterback. AR-15, we got to see him as a rookie, and now we're getting to see Computer play with him. So it works 2 ways. You're not going to win ball games, but the Computer is going to put up numbers. So it might help him, but I don't know about development at all. But it sucks because, this is a guy that we've been expecting to have high expectations for, and it's just not no activity right there for, now it's not, he reached out, it's not his fault, but this is a dynamic quarterback that is going to be cheated from how good he can actually be. Barry Strait. Now you got a guy that runs the ball 90% of the game, and his quarterback is number 10 on his list. So I would think that tells me that they're starting to figure out that they can throw the ball, and to keep you off balance just a little bit. They can throw the football, and it seems like Barry Strait is the answer for the Carolina Panthers at the quarterback position. So it's good to see him there right now. Barry Strait, man. He's straight in my book right now. All right. Best running backs. Joey Cummins is the best running back in the league. You don't want to believe me, then I don't know what to tell you. But he's the best running back in the league. Flat out. Boom Jackson in the NFC right now is becoming that guy right now. All right, got you. All right, Boom Jackson. When a football team figure out that when they got a 28-point lead or 10-point lead, 7-point lead, when they figure out that they don't need Jeff Sims to finish the ball game or close the game out, when they figure that out, we're going to be looking at one of the most dangerous running backs in this league. But until they figure that out, Boom is still arising. So he had a breakout year last year. And he's on that. He's showing us that it wasn't a fluke right now. But the guy that's breaking out out of all running backs right now is giving us that season that we saw last year from Springs is Journey Brown right now. And I'm so glad Journey Brown is actually, being utilized as the running back that I built him to be, because this is one of the saddest stories that you can have on a player, man. One of my favorite players, of all time, honestly, in college, when it comes down to, running backs, Journey Brown's that guy. Journey Brown would have been the number one running back taken, and he would have been first round taken running back in the era where running backs don't go in the first at all. He would have been the next, Saquon Barkley type player. He was that good. I mean, when you got a guy that runs a 4.32, legit 4.32, somewhere between 4.2 at the running back position, 220 pounds, catch the ball like a receiver out the backfield, can run in between the time. I mean, he was having one of the greatest young careers in Penn State, period, and then gets told he can't play football anymore because he has a heart issue. So Thursday night, Friday and Saturday, Thursday night, somebody would have picked him in that top 15, guaranteed, if he would have been able to continue to play football. So I made it my duty to always make him every year to start the real draft off. Always make a Journey Brown. Well, the Seahawks was gifted Journey Brown for having a, most improved team of the year that couple seasons ago. And now he's using him as the running back over there, and he's using him as a running back, like flat out in between the tackles, whatever the case may be. Journey's getting the ball, and what he's doing right now behind that big ass offensive line over there is wearing teams down. Think about this. You got guys like Joey Cummins, Boom Jackson, these big power backs, right? But none of them came out the league with 98 speed that can, break tackles with the best of the big back running backs, right? So imagine, carry 30 where he can still go 80 at any moment. On any carry, this guy can go from 80 yards on you, 70 yards, 60 yards, anytime. So imagine by the time you get to the fourth quarter, and he don't carry 25, and he wearing your ass down, but yet he ain't tired, and he can still go 60 or 70 at any moment right now. I think that's a special skill set that you ain't gonna be able to stop. Like, it's gonna be hard to stop that, because he's a home run threat from anywhere on the field. All you gotta do is give him the ball, whether it's through a screen, a bubble pass, a swing pass, out, whatever, in between the tackles, a power, a stretch, a dive, whatever the case may be. This kid has the talent to go on that play at any given moment. He can get the home run. Walter Payton, he's continuing to still do what he's been doing. I think it's safe to say Walter has arrived now. He's one of the top running backs in the NFC for sure. Now let's talk about Mr. Three-time MVP Jaleel Ruggs. You know what I'm starting to realize though about Jaleel Ruggs? He's a dog, and what's happening is a lot. You're starting to see that the Bucks can know they can win without him. You know what I'm saying? They can call plays and win without him, but I don't think he's durable, bro. He stay injured. He's always injured. I don't know if that's wear and tear. or he just, you know, he's a big back, 220 pounds for sure, and he's another home run hitter that can. But he has a good football IQ. I think it all stimulates from the coach all the way down to, you know, the player in their position, because he plays the running back position with the same smarts and mentality as their quarterback plays the quarterback position. He understands if I just need to get 4 yards here, I need 3 yards here. I don't have to try to hit the home run on every carry. He understands putting drives together, and understand how important it is to put a drive together. Understand how important it is to get him on fire. He understands those things. And in the red zone, he's the best running back in the league, because nobody scored more touchdowns than him. EB Savage is exactly that for the Rams. He's a fucking savage. Now, the problem with EB Savage is that the production is there, right? But the numbers got to get better. Meaning, like, you got to get out of the 3.5 yards a pop and turn that into 5.5, right? You got to get out of 90 catches but only 3 touchdowns and only 6 yards a pop. Like, you got to get those numbers up. The back ends, the 3.5 got to turn to 6 yards a pop. When you start seeing that, you start seeing points get put on the board, and you start seeing more touchdowns come out of them. You start to see wins. Bake Sanders is in a situation where it's put up or shut up, right? Because the previous coach you had wasted the shit out you. Now you got another coach over here that understands who you are. We want to see you run the fucking football flat out. What can you do as a runner? Right now we know he can catch the ball. He had a game where he caught 10 passes in one game. So there you go. Mike Washington in a very deep running back room in Carolina. And look, Mike Washington is balling. Zamir White is a little tricky for me. Zeus, he has the opportunity to really be a really dynamic running back, but I just don't think the coaching staff is taking advantage of the type of running back they have, man. I just, you know, years go by fast. We advance, you know, really fast. Before you know it, he'd be in year 5, and then you like wasted a great opportunity. I think they got to figure out how to get him touches and keep him, you know, running the football. Camden Mann, veteran in the league, still playing for the Lions. I thought they would have phased him out by now, but yep, he's still on here. So shout out to Camden. And AFC, Tremaine Bass, the most carrying running back in the league, with 1 win this year, but he's still a monster in the backfield. Israel goes from the Cardinals to the Patriots, and he's going to fight for the MVP this year. It's just that simple. Springs is in his 2nd season of showing us that it wasn't a fluke. Hayden is holding the Titans down. Breece Hall is the next guy up. And simple as that. Next guy up for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tony Mooney gives everybody problems. Everybody that plays this guy they're talking shit about him at the end of the game. He's a pain in the ass. Zaquandre White is taking over for the Colts. Another big-time running back over there. Zach Evans is making a name for himself, for sure, as the number 1 back for the Chiefs. Contrell Gaulden, he's forced to carry the ball over there for the Bengals. I mean, they gave him 42 carries today against us. And then J.C. Field doesn't have a win right now, but he's the starting running back in New York right now. That's going to transition out. He's not playing because he has some family shit that's going on right now. So, but J.C. Fields is going to fit this offense perfectly because the power system that they run. Falky, what's up? All right. Deion Smith is winning the best wide receiver award. Can we hit the league yet?
That was the last game. I think we could.
I'll come back. Give me a second. If we can't hit the league, I'll get guys playing games right now. I'll come back to the awards in 2 seconds. Make sure injuries are off. I think I turned them off already because you was the last game. All right. I got you, bro. I hear you. All right. So I did turn them off. I'm going to check anyway. Hop on, fuck. All right, I got you. All right, so the injuries are off. Let me go check out and make sure the force wins are set. Yep, we good. shit, I got 300 points to use. Sorry, I gotta use these. On who, I don't know, but I'm gonna use these motherfuckers anyway. Noah Kane in the building. Don't be trying to get them motherfuckers turn red like a motherfucker. Oh my God. All right.
Shit, did you see my blue and orange hat?
Uh-oh. Got all types of shit. Game wrecker, unstoppable force, tandem breakouts. That's what we talking about over here. Okay. Let's get back to it, though. Let's get back to the award situation, and we are looking at the wide receivers in the AFC right now. Yo, Nano, can you Gord alert the league? All right, so at the best wide receiver position, Deion Smith for the Dolphins is at number 1 right now. Rashad Bateman is number 2. Chris Poole, like I told you, Chris Poole still their number 1 receiver over there. McCain is balling. Marquise McClain is doing his thing as well. So you got 2 Buffalo Bills in the top 5. Rayshawn Hendricks, the speed demon from Miami, is balling for the Chargers still. Quandre Harrison, we got to better stop this guy. Oh, my God. Big-time receiver. Big body, 265, and got wheels. Jamison Williams, man, slowly my favorite receiver on the low. Anthony Schwartz still playing at a high level. Nick Candy hurt, and then Adrian Carmichael, the little short speed demon. This Texans team got some firepower over there. But the receivers over here balling, and we like to see that. You know, Deion Smith is playing well, and Lamar's connecting back to Rashad Bateman again. So there you go. And the NFC, look at the receivers over here. Weidman, the rookie, he's having a really good rookie year right now, man. This kid's special for the Cardinals right now. You got Roderick Smith stepped in and became one of those receivers. Like, you're going to know my name the moment he took over this team. This kid's been nothing but 30 yards a catch. Brew McCoy is an animal for the Bucs right now. He literally moved into their number 1 receiver role and slowly making them forget about their best receiver over there, which is 99 Reasons. I mean, this kid is dominating the league right now. And as good as he's playing, the kid under him is playing just as good too. Troy Franklin playing really good football for the Saints right now. Sheldon Ward is saying, I'm not going nowhere no time soon. Leave me alone. Nobody wanted to come get me, or I was just shit for the Cardinals. And Demon Time balling for the football team. Angelo Griffin leaves Baltimore, goes to the Lions, and he's balling along with Mike Timmons. And then you got Donald Driver Jr., who's balling for the Packers right now. Velus Jones Jr. is making you forget about guys like Pooh Jers, the kid Smith over there, and Isaiah Cannon, where he's been at. But Velus Jones is putting in work at the receiver position for the Giants. All right, best O-line, Clay Oates, Quincy Keenan, Isaiah Sinclair, Dean Bailey, and Tristan Wirfs are your top 5 in the NFC. AFC has followed. The motherfucker 2 bodyguards, Pat Falk and Ben Grubbs, holding it down. Rob Barrett, Andy Devine, and then number 5 is Marshall Yonder Jr., your top 5. D-line right now, Bo Calvert balling at a high level for the Chiefs. J.D. Green for the Jets, caught young after he had that amazing season last year. He's still playing high-level football right now. And then you got Demarius Andrews and then Jose Cuervo are your top 5, loading it up, lock and load it in the AFC. NFC, your pass rushers are Angelo Falk, Pat Teller, Chase Young, Daniel Myers, Jeremiah Cumberland. There go my boy Jermaine White. Wait, is that Teller? Is this the Teller that used to play for the Bears?
Pat Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Not paying attention to your team, I see. Okay. All right. Let's go look at the NFC. I said the AFC and NFC pass rushers. We're going to look at the linebackers right now. All right, so old man Devin up here at 1. You got Ben Strong playing really well for the Panthers. You got Coach Shelton, the veteran, for the Seahawks. Emmanuel Thumper over there for the Rams balling. And Tylon Shazier for the Buccaneers are your top 5. In the AFC, your linebackers are as follow. Amari Barno got picked up in free agency. Oh my God, Speed Demon. And Hansford balling. Jeremiah Wilder playing well. Quay Walker, and then Devin Ward, the Terminator, still balling out well. Look at Miller and Sewell on there too. Oh my God. All right, best DBs. Or did I not show the NFC linebackers? Hold up. No, I did show them already. All right, best DBs. You got Jaquan Brisker at safety. You got Lance Norman, the cornerback for the Patriots. Lennox, the Jamaican Castle for the Bills. You got Trent McDuffie for the Raiders. And then you got Bull Murray Jr. sitting right here for the Texans, another safety. I think another safety sitting at 5 right now. The AFC DBs right now. NFC are as follow. Martin Johnson, number one in interceptions. Rasheem Graham, Honey Mayo, Christian Irons, the $1 million, $2 million man, $200 million man, and then Raheem Wagner still holding it down at 5. They were your safeties. That's your guys balling for the award races right now. And then we're just gonna talk about who's doing what stat wise, and let's get out of here and get into the games, man. All right, so your top passing leaders: Kyler Murray with 3,604 yards, Brashaw with 3,533, Kill Glass 3,473. Right behind him is Darren Thomas. Then you got Mike Weber, Stockton, Crum, and Shador. Your touchdown guys are as follow. Kyler Murray with 42. Behind him is Mike Weber, 36. Mr. Drop It in the Bucket, Mike Weber. I'm telling you right now, fellas, there's not a better placement quarterback. And man, look. AI is that number 3, 32. Kill Glass with 30, tied with Bryce Young with 30. And then there's the kid Jeff Sims and Bradshaw, 27, with Stockton and Butterfield, all with 27 touchdowns. Who donations? Let's see who donations this year. All right, Butterfield through 37, Ritter 32, Felix Harper 31. We got to turn that around. Ugalele 29, Malik Willis 28. Then there's Sims, Montana, and Lawrence all out there donating. And your run game, who ran their quarterback in the basement already? I mean, their running backs in the basement already. Tremaine at 218, Galden at 214, Savage at 209, Cummins at 205, Brown at 203. And then there's Hits, Springs, and Bo. Yards wise, Hits 1447. It's a tight race between him and Tremaine Bass. Springs is in the mix. So is Joey Cummins with 1248. Boom with 1224. Journey with 1,205. Moody with 1104. You got Brees Hall with 1,000, and then you got Hayden with 1,000. They all your 1,000-yard running backs. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 running backs with 1,000 yards already. Who's winning the touchdown race right now? 19 from Hits, Israel. Springs with 18. Hayden tied for second with 18. Bass with 17, tied for third with Walter Payton Jr. And then Ruggs with 15. Who got the most broken tackles out of our running backs this year? 49 from Springs. Moody with 49, tied for first. Cummings, Hall, Bass, Savage, Hits, Israel, Hayden, and Jackson, along with these 32 guys down there. All right, the receiver gig is up. Let's see who's getting the most receptions. All right, Troy Franklin got 94 catches already. He's about to, oh my God. He got 94 catches already. This man is about to, I mean, shit. Jet sweep shorty. There was a receiver down in New Orleans. They got 94 catches off of jet sweeps and screens. It's like 99 Reasons with 63 of them things. Brew McCoy 59, McLean with 59, Savage out the backfield again with 56, Smalls, Biggie 55, Candy with 55, and then Dorian Lewis, the tight end, with 54, along with Roderick Smith. And then you got some guys 50 on up. Let's look at the yards right now. All right, we got 4,000-yard receivers right now. And then Roderick Smith 1320, Brew McCoy with 1317, Troy Franklin with 1217, and Malachi Wyman with 1186. They're your 1,000-yard guys right now. Jenkins almost to 1,000. You got Deion Smith, 50 catches, 962, and 10 touchdowns. He's playing well for him. Bateman still balling at a high level as well. Pierre and Timmons. All right, nobody's even nowhere near Malachi Wyman right now with 23 touchdowns as a diaper dandy. And then you got Roderick Smith in year 8 with 13 of them things. Brew McCoy with 13. Troy Franklin with 13. McLean with 13. Then Hendricks with 12. All right, Demon Time with 11. Jameson Williams with 11. Quandre Harris with 11. Chris Poole 11. 99 Reasons with 11. Sheldon Ward 10. Bateman 10. And then Dion with 10. You're tackling guys that are playing: Ben Strong, Quay Walker, Lloyd, Evan Ware, Michael Brown from the cornerback position, Ty Simpson, the young boy at middle linebacker with 64 of them things. Presley doing it. He following it back up again too. Let's look at tackle for losses, too, dominating that right now. 16 from Devin White, Noah Sewell. So 2 middle linebackers are winning that. You got Calvin Green, Saragusa with 13. Wilder, another linebacker there. We got a lot of linebackers tackle for losses this year. Farrell. You got Myers, DN, and Henry, Thomas. You got Colt Young with 11, Pat Teller with 10, Gabe Coles, Mincy with 10, Lovett with 10, and then this fucking guy that's always in the way. I don't know how this guy always got all these damn stats, but maybe the Vikings were smarter than we thought he was. Bo Calvert got 13 sacks, Angelo Falk with 12, J.D. Green with 12. You got Barno with 11. Colt Young with 10.5, Demarius Andrews with 10.5, Jeremiah Cumlin with 10.5, Colt Young with 9, Pat Teller with 9.5, Ware with 9, not going past 9.5. 10 picks for Martin Johnson, Graham with 8, Mayo with 8, Brisker with 7, Kilroy 6, Yee 6, White 6, Kelvin Joseph 6. I'm just looking to see if we got any diaper dandies. Nope. All right, a lot of 6s right now. Selections. 8 from Reeves Island, man. Brett Franklin back with 8 of them. Andrew Booth over there for the Cowboys. Terry's hurt for 4 weeks, but he got 7. Keelan Barnes with 7. Rudy Franklin, the cornerback, with 7, along with Kevin Smith. Forced fumbles, man. Who's causing the most fumbles right now? Angelo Falk not only getting to your quarterback 12 times, he also caused 5 of them things. Nobody's even close to that. How many to the cribs? 2, Marcus Kilroy. So the number is 2. Juggy, Trent Simpson, Isaac Taylor Stewart, Raymond Riaz, Palamayo, Barnes, Quay Walker. We got a whole lot of 2s. Raheem Wagner and Chase Young. 2 of them things to the crib. All right, fellas, that's your stats. That's where we at right now. The award race, all that good shit right now. Let's get to these games. Let's see who is the game of the week. I need a lighter, cause this shit ain't got no fire. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. Texans and Ravens is a pretty big game right now, man. All right, Texans and Ravens is a pretty good game. But this is the game of the week. Football team, Cowboys. Big time game right here as well. Division game. Oh, this thing got some spice to it too. Titans, Bengals. Packers, Bears is another big game that I think might even get this the pick'em game right here. Packers, Bears. Colts, Jets. Falcons, Panthers. Vikings, Lions. Chiefs, Browns. Big game right here, too. All right, it's my second pick'em game. Big game right here, too. Patriots, Raiders, Cardinals, Rams, Chargers, Niners, Seahawks, Broncos. I would say this is a must-see game, but the game of the week is right here. Giants and the Buccaneers. Oh, baby.
Ooh, baby.
Giants and the Buccaneers. So, all right, here we go. Jaguars, Bills, another game to watch. Honorable mention, Saints, Steelers. So here we go. Pick'em games. Before we get out of here, you got to type it in the comment section right now. Pick'em game. Giants, Buccaneers. This is the game of the week. This is the main event game right here. Game of the week. Pick'em. Right now, who you got? The next pick'em game is Seahawks, Broncos, Bang, Cardinals, Rams, Patriots, Rams, Chiefs, Browns. Hold up. Don't put them up there yet. Chiefs, Browns is another pick'em game. So the first two, the main event is the Giants, Bucks. The next game is the Chiefs, Browns game. All right. Vikings, Lions, Falcons, Panthers, Colts, Jets, Packers, Bears. Here's the other one. Pick'em game. Packers, Bears. And then the Titans, Bengals. So I got 3 pick'em games in the main event. Titans, Bengals. Packers, Bears. Chiefs, Browns. Giants, Bucks. So how you feel? How you feel? Now, here's the catch to it. It's 4 games. Pick 3 out of 4 and you good. Pick all 4 and you extra good. That's how we coming. All right, so type it in this comment section. So if you're not watching, you can't be involved in this. You got to be watching the show right now to be involved. You get 3 out of 4 and you get a gift. If you get all 4, you get a gift. Super gift.
Now who the fuck scored 50 on me? And how long? Shit.
Yo, everybody picking you, bro. I gotta switch it up.
50 burger though? Oh my god.
And there's
meanwhile, you quitting this shit.
I knew that was coming. There you go. He took offense to that. Pussy, who you trying to play out?
Damn, nigga shit.
All right, so you got G-Men, Bucks, right? I'm gonna start. I'm going up here. I'm gonna start with the Titans game. Where that game at? I'm going Titans, Bengals. I'm picking Titans. Packers, Bears. Am I riding with D West or War Paint? That's a good one right there.
Packers, fuck that.
Packers, Bears. I'm gonna go with. That's hard.
It is his first year though. Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna go with Bears, but I think I'm gonna lose this one. That's why I'm gonna lose that right there. I'm gonna go with Bears.
Let's see what happens.
Packers, Bears. I got Titans, Bears. I know I want to pick the Packers bad in this game though, man. Chiefs, Browns, big game right here. Do I go with Cuzzo or do I go with the Browns here? Titans, Bears. I'm going with the road warrior in this game. Chiefs. Fuck it. And then here we go.
Ruggs, perfect timing.
Giants, Bucks. And it's in Florida. Is Max due for a win yet, man? Titans, Bears, Chiefs. Bucks. That's my picks. I'm going right there. Titans, Bears, Chiefs, Bucks. The way Jay Green did it and I did it, that's how you, and the Titans, that's how I gotta be. If you ain't posting it in like that, now screenshot your hit the like button, fellas. You can't get out of here without, and there's only 2 people that hit the like button. Screenshot you hit the like button, send it to Coach Max. I'm circling that shit. I hit that bitch. I'm number 3. Done. Save the photos. That's my picks. Now let's talk about some of these games though. Oh, baby, you got one? I didn't even know. I'm walking over here, running in this shit. All right, so let's get into this game for a second. Let's go Titans. Bengals for right now. All right. When I think about Titans Bengals, I'm thinking about new coach on the Bengals team, but on a really good Bengals team, right? The Bengals will run the football. I mean, we just played the Bengals, and he literally threw 4 passes the whole game. But all that running didn't lead to success. It just led to punts. I think the Titans is really built defensively to sustain the run game. You can run on him, but I don't think you're going to be able to run on him. And if you're not forcing the Titans to pass the ball more than he want to pass the ball, then you're not going to force him into, interceptions, what he does more than he does throwing touchdowns, as you can see, 26-12. So if I'm the Bengals, I want to put Trevor Lawrence in a situation where he has to win the ball game for these Tennessee Titans because he doesn't show any signs of he can win the ball game for himself. And you can see the 60%, the 12 touchdowns, the 26 interceptions. So you want him throwing the football. The problem is they got a really good running back over here. They actually got 2, but they got a really good running back over here, averaging 115 yards a game right now, and he can win the ball game for him. On the flip side of it is I like matchups, right? I think this Titans defense is flying, and it starts with the first 5 players you're going to see. Pat Poe, flying. Daxton Hill, flying. Dijon Warren, flying. Xavier Alford, really fast. Kelvin Joseph, flying. Dunbar got really good speed along with Lindell Tillman. So they're guys that's up here. They flying, right? And I think, these guys will get to the football if you're running the ball on them. They're fast enough to get to the football. I don't know if the Bengals can come into this game and have an all-running system and win this ball game with this defense flying around like that. So that's just why I picked the Titans. And I think their running back is going to be the reason why they win the ball game. Flat out, Jaden Hayden is going to be the reason why they win the ball game. Now, that next game we talked about was the Chiefs. This is a hard game, too. When it comes down to the Chiefs and the Browns, right? So what we do know is Tony Mooney is a monster. He's keeping Brian Robinson Jr. on the sideline right now. So can you stop him? Because he's not just doing it in the run game. He also can catch the ball for this team really well as well. I like the weapons over here, but the Chiefs defense, since the new coach took over, has really been the selling point for the Chiefs. Now, the Browns system is legit, and if they're comfortable in their system in this game, then they're going to be in a situation where this is where I'll lose that pick at. Now, I picked the Chiefs. I think I picked the Chiefs to win it, but I just think the reason why I'm picking the Chiefs to win it is because the Browns are not familiar with the Chiefs. Although the Chiefs are not familiar with the Browns, I do like the Chiefs defense a little better than the Browns. I think it's going to come down to who's going to get the stops. But if the Browns offense, that West Coast offense is hitting on all cylinders, it's gonna be a long day. But I think they both got a good running back in the backfield that they're comfortable with, and they both got I picked the Chiefs and the fucking receivers hurt. Their best receivers out for 4 weeks. Yep, that's where I'm gonna lose it at. All right, so it comes down to what weapons can catch the ball for the Chiefs. Since their number 1 guy is down, and is the secondary of the Browns ready to be able to stop the receiver? Because they're not, just because their 1 receiver is down doesn't mean that they're not, good enough to still play at the receiver position over there. So is Akeem Dent ready to be a shutdown in this game or not? So I'm gonna have to ride out with my pick because I already made the pick, but I forgot Nick Candy was hurt in this game. That's gonna hurt the Chiefs and what they trying to do offensively. So. Now, but if they can contain Moody a little bit, keep him from really, really dominating the ball game, then I think they're in a good situation. Other than that, it's going to be a long day, but I'm still going with the Chiefs. I think their defense is good enough to, make it a close game and keep them from scoring touchdowns and kicking field goals. in this ball game. You look at the Chiefs, again, their run game is pretty solid. But they got other receivers. Again, Garrett Wilson is still here. You got Jerry Joseph is there. They got a nice little tight end, Elton. You got Zach out the backfield 21 times as well. And you look at the run game. As soon as I get off this show, we can get right at it. I'm almost gone. All right, Bears, Packers. Look, we know what we're getting from D West, but D West runs the football really well now. His running back is pretty solid. The receiving core, you know, you see it right here. All of them touching the ball. Here's your weapons. Justin Ross is having a slow year, but he's been hurt. I like the weapons there, but I also like what the Packers got over here as well, too. And Quad has kept the Packers' defense is pretty solid. But when you look over here, you got Driver with 50 catches. You know, you got Austin, the speed demon. Bake Sanders does a really good job out the backfield. Tight end Barner is playing well for him as well. Trayvon Burks is still here, too. So they got two running back system over here. But defensively, I think they got some pieces over here, you know, to match up. But I think the Bears and Warpaint being unfamiliar with them is going to cause some problems for them. I think they're going to lose a close game. And then, you know, the Giants and the Bucks game, it's honestly, you know, can the Giants offense score points? You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to score. These teams are familiar with each other. They're really rivals, you know, and it comes down to who makes mistakes, who controls the pretty much the line of scrimmage, and who can make plays in the passing game. Flat out. So that's the show. And hit. I'm giving y'all time to pick y'all games. But we're out of here.